I feel so alive, yeah. I'm happy head to toe, I'm in overdrive, well alright. Clear those clouds away, I can feel the sun, yeah. Let the music play, now we've just begun. These are the best days. Yes, these are the best days. These are the best days. These are the best days. These are the best days of our lives. Of our lives. There's magic in the air, and it feels so right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So follow if you're there, and you'll see the light shine so bright. 'Cause these are the best days. Yes, these are the best days. These are the best days. These are the best days. These are the best days of our lives. Of our lives. Yeah. Oh, can you feel the spotlight shining on yeah, it's alright. Living the moment, find your place in this world. Every boy, every girl, yeah. Follow your dreams, let them lead, let them guide. All you do, let them see, let them guide.
What was that for you?
Oh man, I need a smoke and a sleep. That was great, sure.
See you through.
Alright, so ladies and gents, when it comes to driving a motor vehicle, one of the most critical aspects is simply just to sit correctly. The reason being is if you're sitting correctly, you have better feeling for what the car is telling you. You've got better support, which then allows you better use over the vehicle controls. So what we recommend a BMW driving experience is firstly just to make sure you are close enough to the pedals so that when you're standing as hard as you can on the brake, you still have some bend in your knee. On occasion, people end up having a rather scary situation out on public roads because something happens, they go for the brakes, they're not braking hard enough, and they're trying desperately to brake hard, but they're simply too far away. So, first thing we need to do is go a little bit closer so that when I stand hard on the brakes, I still have some bend in my knee. The next step, the height of the seat. The idea is that we want to sit high enough so that you can actually see over the bonnet. Many of my BMW drivers are a little bit shy. You see them very often hiding beneath the steering wheel. No man, sit high enough, get some great visibility over the steering wheel. But by that same token, just make sure that you have a 4-finger space between your head and the roof. It's a bit of a buffer zone, just in case things are not going according to plan. Gives you some extra space. And then as far as the backrest is concerned, I've seen people on occasion who are actually able to order their takeouts out the back window. That's not the correct sitting position. We need to sit a little bit more upright, simply so that the chair can support us. If you're getting the support from the chair, you're not going to end up hanging on too hard to the steering wheel for support. And this in turn will allow you better flexibility with your hands. So this one at the moment, this one is all right for me. I'm sitting nice and upright, I'm paying attention, I've got the support from the seat, close enough to the pedals. Now, as far as the steering wheel is concerned, I just need to make sure that the height, I can see the gauges clearly through the steering wheel, so I can adjust the height of the steering, and then bring it close enough to you so that when you put your hand straight out on top of the steering, it just touches you in this wrist region here. Alright, so having brought the steering wheel a little bit closer now, when I hold onto the steering wheel at the correct position, which is 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock on the steering wheel, I'll have a little bit of bend in my arms. The reason for that bend is when I steer, my hands are a little bit more compact. I've got better flexibility and I can move much faster on the steering wheel in the event of an emergency or if there's a skid. And that's the main reason for why I'm sitting in this position. A lot of people are worried about the airbag now hitting them in the head. The airbag is only going to deploy to about this point, and it deploys in just 30 milliseconds. To put that into perspective, it takes us 100 milliseconds simply to blink. In a collision, before I've even moved out the seat, the airbag's already fully deployed and starting to deflate already. However, the airbag is only my secondary restraint system. The primary restraint system is the seat belt. So now that I'm sitting correctly inside the vehicle, I need to put my seat belt on. And what I would recommend with the seat belt is take up the slack. The reason being is in an emergency situation, the less movement you experience, the less injuries you suffer. This one I haven't taken up the slack yet, and look what would happen in a collision. So that's a little bit too much movement. Whereas if I put the seatbelt on and I just give it a little pull, that same situation, have a look at the difference. So in the same situation, I would experience less movement, which means I experience less injuries. And there's additional systems on the seatbelt so that if I am involved in a collision, it's going to minimize movement in a controlled fashion. And by doing that, it's also slowing me down so that I don't hit the airbag too hard. And this is why we should sit correctly, ladies and gents.
Pink Drive is here today with Bridgestone and BMW at Kyalami for the track day where we are raising funds for Pink Drive. They are doing education, awareness and testing for breast cancer. We go out to the communities to provide the service for all the ladies, especially for those medically uninsured.
First of all, I'm very impressed with the quality of the tar. You can definitely feel the difference between that and any other track. It's very, very good. And all the facilities is 5-star. It's very special. I really enjoy it. Yeah.
Feels really great. It's actually my first time here, so I haven't driven the old Kyalami, but the surface, the track surface, the layout, everything's really great.
Well, I think the BMW crowd is a much better crowd, sportsmanship, better organised. You come here and you don't feel out. You feel like they sort of like appreciate. There's not a lot of politics and stuff like that, and I think that makes it nice and friendly. Everybody try and help each other, and that what's make it more nicer to come here and race with them.
So we do a lot of racing with the Lotus guys, and one of the nicest things about being here is being able to be on the track with a bunch of very, very fast BMWs, Porsches, and a range of other cars that makes it really, really exciting. So we're having a great day. Thank you.
So he was born with tracheal esophageal fistula and esophageal atresia. So what that means is the esophagus never reached the stomach, and he had little connections from the esophagus to the trachea, from the trachea to the stomach. And they had to repair that at 2 days old or he would have died. They did the operation, it was a huge success. He came off the ventilator 2 weeks later, and they said to us, he'll be fine. We went home, he kept stopping to breathe, kept telling the pediatrician something's wrong. She's like, no, nothing's wrong. And I just refused to leave her room the one day. And I was like, you need to do something, I'm going to lose it. And we went for a barium swallow where he went into full cardiac arrest. And we ended up doing CPR on him. Took an hour and a half to resusc him. Once we got him back, they said to us he's got convulsions, and I was like, my kid doesn't have convulsions. I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. We called Dr. Carapina and Dr. Donopoulos in. They had him transferred, and we picked up his trachea and bronchial malaria. So what that means is the cartridges that we have in our trachea to support it, he does not have. So if he gets overexcited, or if he cries, or he gets sick, the trachea actually flops and it closes, and then he goes into cardiac arrest. If you catch it quick enough, you can actually reverse the effects quite quickly, and you can get him back within 5 minutes and he's smiling. But if you don't get it within a minute, it takes around about an hour to get him back, and there's always the risk of brain damage. Since we've been involved with this, we've seen a lot more cases. I said to my husband, it feels like I was walking with blinders, because I never saw all these kids that are struggling and all these defects. And since Caleb's story, I've seen it. And we originally did this event to raise money to get Caleb to Boston, but we've had such good response that we've raised 7.6 million. So we've got around about a surplus of 1.5 million, which we're going to be using for aftercare, but also to help other children. So we're going to be looking for rare defects that people feel there's no hope. Because everyone said to me, there's no hope for my child, and there is hope. He's going to Boston, he's going to get his operation. It's quite a big operation. We're looking at a minimum of 10 hours. It's 3 different procedures that's going to be done by 7 doctors. But I have full confidence he will be okay. We're going to come back in 3-4 weeks' time, and he's going to live a normal life. And I would like to give hope like everyone else gave me hope. So we've already found another case, which I haven't told anyone about. We bought a BiPAP for a child, and we're keeping that child stable until we can find out what operation the child needs, and we're going to help the child then. But we'll be giving further details later on.